So today we're going to look at these shoes. Should tuck the laces in first. We're going to look at the Ultra Raptor from La Sportiva. You can see them here. You can see they're still kind of muddy from my last adventure in them. And I've got about 200 kilometers on these shoes now. I'm going to tell you what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and why I'm going to actually recommend something totally different, or at least not these, not for my intended purpose. So why did I buy these? I bought them for a few reasons. I bought them, so on some of my other shoes, you'll see I pointed this out in my SpeedCross 4 review a while ago. My feet often bust out right here because I got fat feet. And I liked the rubber rand on this. I thought it was really good, and I thought that it would help protect the shoe from my fat feet. And it didn't bust out so far at 200K, which I have had the Sense Pro 2s did bust out at me. I also like the stiffness, right? So these are pretty stiff shoes. I'm gonna compare them. You'll see these shoes again in a second as I talk about them, right? See, these have about the same amount of pressure and they're much twistier. So, and they had a good rock plate. They really feel like, almost like a hiking boot in some ways because they're just so stiff on the bottom, right? Even the rock plate, right, we don't have a lot of flex through the midfoot. Just up here, there's a bit of a hinge, I guess. I liked that. I also liked, you can see on top here, they have the tongue is way up here, and there's just a little notch, and then so this is like fully protected. You're not getting a lot of rock coming in there, and I love the grip. So you can see the grip. These little spiky knobs, they are excellent, excellent in the mud. I love that about them. That was so good about them. They ran really well on lots of surfaces, especially in the mud. I found them really good compared to what I was mainly running in at the time when I first bought these was the Salomon Sense Pro 2, and they were great for the buffed out trails. I'm usually running kind of two pairs of shoes. They're great for the buffed out trails, and then I needed something to replace, again, these, right? My Gore-Tex SpeedCross 4s, which I said I did review, and you can see I haven't put on much more distance then, but these have 600 kilometers on them. Just as a note, those have 600 kilometers, and these have just over 2. So I wanted that, and I wanted a shoe that was really robust for some scrambling, and some, they felt stiff enough that they helped support my foot when I was scrambling, without having some of the crazy lugs that some of the SpeedCross 3 did. Really had huge crazy lugs that just ripped off the shoe on me, and they were just way too soft. So I thought that this looked a lot better. And looking at the rubber compound, I don't remember what it was now. What it was, they're orange or blue or whatever, they do it by color. It looked like it was going to be a good compound for just mixed use, for some trail and for some rock and for, slippery stuff. And I've actually loved their climbing shoes. I don't do as much climbing now, but I used to do a lot of rock climbing. So I thought, hey, good brand, this will be great. So here's where we go. Like I said, they ran really well. Now, what I have found in these though, is that I twisted my ankle a bunch, specifically on my left foot. My left foot is always a little off, but I twisted it a bunch. So I bought these actually before I bought these are the Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s right here. I bought these before, and I twisted my ankle a couple times, just minor, not a big deal really. And that was no good. Now, that was a big problem. Now, and what I've come to think now, the Lone Peak 3 is a lot softer shoe. You can feel the rock coming through it in many more ways, which is good in some ways and bad. But what I think I've come down to is that a stiff shoe like this with such a hard rock plate in it doesn't let me feel the rock, and so instead of being able to like twist my hip and my knee a little bit and compensate for it, I'm just twisting my ankle, which sucks. It's way worse. So I'd rather have a one funny step and just twist my hip slightly. So twist my ankle a bunch of times in this, and I'll come to it later. I actually took a big fall with these shoes. I don't think it's necessarily the shoe's fault, but it'll come up with some other stuff based on that day when I took a big fall. What I also loved about them back here, this kind of rubbery bit at the back really gripped my heel. I never had a heel blister in them at all. I did find with my SpeedCross 4s that I did have to break them in a bit, but these really never felt like they needed to break in. They felt pretty good. Now, they're a heavier shoe as well. I don't know the weight exactly, but they felt heavier, and even comparing them like to the Lone Peaks here, they're a heavier shoe. They feel maybe about the same as the SpeedCross, but again, I don't know. I think that a lot of people spend too much time worrying about the weight of a shoe when you could probably shave your beard and save as much weight, or not eat that extra donut and have as much weight saved. Anyway, and they also had this nice like carbon heel cup, which just helped keep shape. And yeah, I don't know if it does anything other than that, but it looked cool, at least in part. Now, some things I didn't love about the shoe. So on the big day when I took a big fall in question, I'm gonna try and show you this on the video. You can see right here. You can see right here. It's a hole right there, right through the shoe. Now, I just stepped up on a log and caught it on a something and ripped a hole in it. Like, it was just hiking up something really, because it's fairly steep, and ripped a hole in it. I was super disappointed actually, because, you know, I didn't think that that should happen so easily. You know, conversely, I've cut these on lots of stuff and you see no mark on it really, right? There's that little tear on the side for my fat feet. And same with these, right? 400 and something K. They are looking worn down. The tread's a little worn down, but there's very little wear to that extent on the outside on them. And then even, just reach down and grab the other one. So the other one, it might be harder to see in the light here, but you can see right here, it's right there. See how it's all shredded right there? So after I took my fall, and it was a fairly large fall, but after I took my fall, I had to do a bunch of bushwhacking to get back out into safety, because, you know, I twisted my ankle really bad. I was up on crutches for a few weeks. So that shoe, just from bushwhacking, just from like going through trees, and like I did the same stuff in the other two pairs of shoes, and they have way more mileage on them. And this top knit, whatever it is, stuff just didn't last. That's it. It just did not last at all. So I don't know what to say about them. They're not great. They didn't last for me. They're 200K. Got a big hole here in them, right? I got a big hole there. And then this one over here, like, it's not, none of these are all the way through, these little pulls and tears and stuff, but like, I'm just not happy with the material. I'm not convinced I could go take it out on a couple more bushwhacking adventures and be good. And like those Salomons, they've been on multiple bushwhacking adventures where I was bushwhacking for like 8 hours, right? Where you're pushing through alpine meadow and pushing through trees and up and down rocks and scrambling. And like, comparatively, these have barely been touched as far as scrambling goes from what I often do. Those Salomon ones went up stuff that was so hard that I was getting scratches through 2 layers of clothing because the branches were so tight I had to push through. Anyway, the other thing I didn't love about these, despite the grippiness that they said the compound would have on rock and stuff, I did not find these that grippy. That's not true. They're really grippy on dry rock. They're great on dry rock. As soon as you got any water on it, they're like skates though. That may have contributed slightly to my fall, but ultimately my decision should not have been be in that specific area. So I wouldn't say the shoe is at fault for my fall specifically. Anyway, so what am I going to say about these shoes? Don't buy them, I guess. And I could see these as a great shoe to like take a day hike with the kids. Take a day hike, and I'm carrying either a big pack or a 50-pound kid sometimes, or 50-pound kid plus other stuff in there too, right? So I might be carrying a full multi-day backpacking weight load just because I got kids with me. That's what they might be good for. Like the tread has got lots of life left in it, but the upper of the shoe is just toast. I just used them in the last couple of weeks to move and to do some construction style work in, and because I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with them now. I don't feel like I can run in them. I don't feel like I'm going to trust them on my ankle. My ankle's, still messed up. Again, not because of the shoes, but just because I know that I'm more prone to twist in these shoes. I'm not convinced that I can try it. As far as fit on my double triple E with foot, fit pretty good. A little snug up front. I say a little snug now because I've moved to Ultras. So compared to Ultra, a little snug. I fit pretty good. And I'm happy that I went true to size right, I think. I can't read this anymore. I don't know. No, it's a 10. So this is a 10. I'm technically a 9.5. So triple E though. So this is a 10. So it's about half size bigger than my foot size should be. Yeah, but again, there's so many things that are great about these shoes. I think they even look cool. And they are robust. They're stiff. They're going to I think they'll wear long. I think the tread will wear really long. But when the upper just disintegrates like that on a really one bushwhacking run, I don't even know what to say, right? So the other ones have been I've gone through brambles and said, well, the road I'm on is clearly a road at one point because I can see a stop sign half embedded in a tree. That's what the other shoes have done. Where where brambles up over your head, you're getting cut through your shirts, and they're in much better condition than one day of out, and it was probably about 4K, maybe 3K of real bushwhacking, maybe, and they just destroyed themselves. That's it. So that's my verdict on the Ultra Raptor 2. They are okay, but they're not spectacular. I did not find their wet rock grip to be great at all. Even their wet wood, just not good at all. I almost bailed a bunch of times in these, and I've been up the same trails in worse or similar conditions with the Lone Peaks. Lone Peaks are grippy, felt good all the time. Now maybe they wear down a little faster because they have a softer rubber compound. I don't know, but they felt grippy the whole time. I felt much more confident in my footing on the wet that way. These did excel in slippery wet mud. They were better than the Lone Peaks though. These just felt solid underfoot in the wet mud. You'd plant and you just feel like you're connected to the ground again, as opposed to sliding a bit. They even felt a little better than the Salomon's grip-wise in wet sticky mud. But yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to say about the Ultra Raptors. I wish they turned out better. They didn't, though, unfortunately. My wife loves her Bushidos, but they just didn't fit my foot. So maybe the Bushido might be for you if you're a Sportiva fan. But I am not going to get shoes from them next time because I have been happy with it. I'm so far very happy with my Ultras. If you have any comments, if you tried them, I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below in YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, heart, star, whatever it is you want to give me. And subscribe. If you have any other information about these, let me know. Other shoes you think I should try, other shoes you want to hear about, let me know. Have a good one.